Hey guys, Nathan here from Running Warehouse Australia, and I have with me again, Jack. And we got to test out the new Adidas Adizero Adios Pro 4. Long name, bit of a spoiler alert, great shoe.
Very good shoe.
Jack, hit us with those stats.
Yeah, so in the stack height, we've got 39mm of foam in the heel for a 6mm drop down to 33 in the forefoot, weighing in close to 200 grams for a men's size 9, 180 for women's sample as well, so it's dropped some weight as well. Getting up to that full stack height, good amount of foam under the forefoot as well.
All right, first off, let's look at the midsole. It's got a brand new formulation of Adidas's Light Strike Pro in the midsole, and sandwiched in between that is Adidas's Energy Rods in 2.0 version. It's just so much softer and smoother underfoot, I found, in the Pro 4. And by no means do I mean the Pro 3 was a bad shoe either, but for me, that reworked formulation, and they've also reworked the rocker and brought it back a little bit. Smooth on landings, really nice underfoot transition, and then it's super explosive on toe off and really poppy. What are your thoughts on the midsole, Jack?
Yeah, I'd say smooth is probably the operating word here. I feel like you get more travel down into the foam, you can kind of sink in a bit more. This 60% rocker that they talk about, starting at 60% of the length of the shoe, just gives you a very efficient feel, like you kind of get a lot of your energy gets transferred into forward motion, whereas the Pro 3 I felt was kind of bouncing me upwards, which was a nice feeling, but this definitely feels, yeah, smoother underfoot, like it locks into my stride very nicely. Half and marathon paces, this is gonna be a go-to shoe for me. Maybe 5 and 10K, I might want the Takumi Sen, a bit more snappy underfoot, but yeah, definitely very comfortable, smooth, really nice.
Yeah, I found Adi have really taken a lot of what they learned from that Evo Pro 1 and brought it down into a shoe which is going to be super popular for the masses, you know? It's not that $750 shoe, you're going to get it at a decent price point for a carbon race day model, and you still get a lot of those benefits.
Yeah, for sure. So I reckon the upper is probably going to be one of the most welcome changes to this shoe. The Pro 3 worked, but you had to really learn how to lace it up because it didn't have any stretch. There wasn't a lot of padding. So you either laced it up too tight or maybe it was a little bit loose. This has a bit more stretch, a bit more give. It's much more comfortable. Gusseted tongue. We got this kind of elastic band which runs from the heel counter through the midfoot. So you get this kind of secure stretch. It's just a lot better, a lot softer on the Achilles as well. I think most people are going to enjoy this a lot more.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with the Pro 3 upper, but you're right. This one is a lot softer and smoother on foot. Keep mentioning smooth. Adi's just smoothed out anything that has caused any irritation. I did get a little bit of irritation in the heel of this one. I didn't experience that with the 3, but that was only in the first run I had. So I think it was still me just getting used to the shoe a little bit more, maybe with a bit more compression through that foam. My heel just moved a little bit more. But I found as I kept running in it, I never had any issues. I did have to wear half a size too small, so my toes were a bit banged up. But again, that's not the uppers issue, that's a me issue. But yeah, it's a lot smoother on foot and it stretches with your foot, which I agree, the Pro 3 didn't have that.
Yeah.
Moving on down to the outsole, you get the majority of it is full coverage, Adidas light traction outsole, and a little pad of Continental rubber there on the toe off where you're going to be pushing through your toes the most. I didn't find it to be any issues at all. You know, I haven't really worn it on any wet days or anything like that, but it gripped well enough for me.
Yeah, I've used it on some wet days and I found it gripped just as well as the Continental rubber. And because it actually has some texturing to it now, I actually think it has a little bit more bite. If you go over like some sand or grit on the road, there's just that little bit more, yeah, kind of bite into the road. Whereas the Pro 3, because it was so smooth, kind of felt like you were rolling over it. So I actually think it's an improvement, and I do appreciate having the Continental rubber on the toe off. I do think I notice it, especially like when it gets really slippery. Yeah, I think the durability will be good. It's nice to see some full coverage with some weight savings as well.
All in all for me, Adidas Adizero Adios Pro 4 is a really nice update from the Pro 3. As I said, that midsole just being a little bit softer, a little bit smoother underfoot in that transition, and then still allowing me to have a nice explosive, responsive toe off. I really enjoyed that upper. whilst I got a little bit of irritation early on in the heel, again, it's smoother on foot for me, you know? It's a real update for it. And as I said earlier, I think Adidas took a lot of their learnings from that Evo Pro 1 and were able to put it into this shoe. And this is gonna be a really nice marathon race day shoe for the masses, I think.
Yeah, I think the way that I look at it is that Adidas have improved everything that they needed to on this shoe, but they've also just tinkered with stuff that I wasn't really expecting, but every change has been positive, I'd say. Like, they probably didn't need to change the outsole, but they have made some slight tweaks. They've saved some weight. The upper's much improved. I think the midsole is going to be more appealing to more people, and I think it still holds on that kind of gutsy feel that you get from Light Strike Pro. So fans of the Pro 3, I think most of them are going to come to the Pro 4 and still enjoy it. There might be a few who aren't a fan of the newer, softer feel, but most of them I think are going to be really happy with these updates. It's coming in at a good price point as well for a top tier super shoe, $360. I think that's going to sell pretty well. Yeah, I think it's a great update.
So that's our thoughts on the new or upcoming Adidas Adizero Adios Pro 4. You can obviously find it when it's available at Running Warehouse Australia.